Hey guys, welcome back. It's me Gani and this is my Friday midnight vlog with all the events that has been happening in and around Australia for the past week or so. Let's get straight into it. First things first, guys. Today I'm using this new mic, which is a Rode mic, which I bought a couple of months ago. I never had an opportunity to use this mic because I needed an adapter to use this mic with my DJI Osmo Pocket. As soon as I got this mic, we went into a lockdown and I had to order this mic online. The adapter online. Now I got the adapter and also the mic, so I'm using it. So leave your comments in the comment section below how the audio quality is. I'm very keen to learn from you guys. So this week there has been some good news and bad news in Australia. I'll start with the bad news. Australian Treasurer earlier this week, George Frydenberg, earlier this week announced that Australia is officially in recession, first time in 30 years. When the world was hit by GFC, the global financial crisis in 2008-2009, Australia escaped without many scratches. But this virus didn't discriminate anyone, so Australia has been pulled into this recession, unfortunately. So what recession means, that is, our economy, which is the GDP, the gross domestic product, shrank for 2 quarters in a row. So in the first 6 months, the GDP growth dropped by 7%, and it is expected to drop another 3% by end of this year, so a total of 10%. And also it is expected that the unemployment rate will hit 2 digits for the first time in many years, so it will hit 10% by end of this year, which is very unfortunate. But the good news is here, it's not the economists think it's not the same as the Great Depression that we experienced in the late 1920s and early 1930s, because at that time, the economy over 3-year period of GDP growth shrunk by 27%, and it never went back to the normal figures until the deployment of forces in the Second World War. So here we are expecting the GDP growth to drop by 10% in this year, but when there is a vaccine for this virus, we are hoping our economy to bounce back as soon as there is a vaccine. So we hope for the best. And the other bad news is, guys, so the eviction ban that has been put in place by the federal government in many states and territories will expire end of this month. I think Victoria extended the eviction ban until next year, early next year, I think. So it is tough times for these people because struggle paying their rent, which will affect the landlord in paying their mortgages. So this will trigger a housing crisis. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but we have to wait and see how that's going to pan out. In Victoria, there has been some good news this week. So this week, Victoria recorded for 4 days coronavirus cases only in double digits, except for Thursday, in which Victoria recorded 113 cases. The rest of the days it was around 70 and 80 cases, so which means that the weekly average is going to look much better this week, and it will also give Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews a clear picture about how they're going to open up the economy. So Premier Daniel Andrews said there will be an announcement this Sunday on our roadmap about how the economy will be opened back again. So I'm looking forward to that. And the rest of the country has been tracking well with the virus as well. In Queensland, they recorded 2 cases, which I think is one from a health sector. So they have it largely under control. And also in New South Wales, the Sydney cluster, or the Sydney CBD cluster, they call it as, brought under control as well, which is a good news for the Sydney siders. The rest of the countries, I think except for Western Australia, has recorded 0 cases overnight. And in the footy side, for the first time since 1945, footy grand final will be played outside of Victoria. Actually, this is only the second time that the grand final will be played in a venue outside of MCG. I think in 1991, Waverley Gardens hosted the grand final when MCG was under renovation. So this is a big loss for the Victorians. Brisbane Gabba will hold the grand final this year on 24th of October. And South Australia has been named as a backup just in case if there is going to be a virus breakout in Brisbane. And the capacity has been capped to 30,000 in Gabba for the game. the capacity of GABA is 42,000, so they capped it to 30,000. So good news for the Queenslanders, because Brisbane is playing some great footy this season, and they are expected to be in the grand final as well. So great news for the Queenslanders. But Victoria lost the grand final. For that, in return, Victoria will be getting more footy games in 2021, and also the contract that Victoria has signed with the AFL to have grand final in Victoria until 2057 will be extended to another year, to 2058. So Victoria is getting something back in return for losing the grand final this year. And the trade news, the trade spat between Australia and China is widening. The crack is widening. What you would have read this before. China had banned importing meat from 3 Australian abattoirs early this year, and also they have imposed a 80% tariff on Australian barley. So what China had done last week was they have banned importing completely barley from one of the major barley exporters in Australia, citing reasons such as finding insects in barley. Look, this is not the first time that China had done this. They have done this with Philippines in 2014, I think, when they stopped importing bananas from Philippines to seize control of South China Sea, when they had a spat with Philippines at the time. What's happening with China is they use these tactics to threaten other countries because their consumer power is too large or too big that other countries cannot afford to lose doing business with China. But what India have done is India is giving China a taste of its own medicine. India earlier this year has banned, in July I think, banned 57 Chinese apps including TikTok. And to top it up, a couple of days ago, India has banned another 117 Chinese apps, including PUBG. PUBG is this combat game that kids get addicted to, and PUBG gets most of its downloads from India as well. So India has been giving China a taste of its own medicine. So the trade spat between China and Australia, as I said before, is the gap is widening. And it's not a great news for Australia, as our economic growth for the past 20 years has been mostly based on the development in China. So we have to wait and see how this pans out. That's it from me today, guys. And hopefully you like this video today. If you like the video today, give a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and I'll see you next time with a new video. Thanks so much. Bye for now.